So as I was saying, you guys are really going to be able to have a full understanding of how to really go about manipulating, understanding how I chart markup, understanding how supply is important in the market, how demand is important in the market, right? And how to go about getting those sniper precision entries that allow you to have phenomenal risk to reward and just allow you to just have stack your entries up, right? So I'm gonna start off here with a gold chart. I could do this on any chart, right? But I happen to be in front of gold, and I just want to show you guys an example of what's possible with this. But before I even tap into showing you a bit what's gold right now, I want to draw something up for you guys because I want to make sure everyone understands this, right? This is what happens most of the times in the marketplace, right? So you're gonna have a series of market moving. Market normally moves in like 3 ways, right? Up, down, and sideways, right? Most of the time. Up, down, sideways market, most of the time, right? Now, in these markets, right, there's something that often happens. I need to make sure everyone notices this. So we have here on top here, normally we're gonna have what we call we're gonna have generally or literally our stop losses are gonna be right above here. Stop losses are gonna be right above here. Most people are like, most people know M's and W's. If you guys know M's and W's, drop M's and W's in the chat. MW in the chat. If you guys know what it is, M's and W's, drop that in the chat box for me real quick. Awesome, right? I'm showing you guys this for what I'm doing to make sense. Because after I show you guys this, I'm gonna move really, really fast, right? So seeing these M's and W's, right? What now happens, right? Is that the regular traders, the retail traders, right? Most of us, we're all retail, right? It's just that we know certain terminologies and skill sets within this, right? So right here, we're gonna have stops. Stops are gonna be right here as well, right? Stops are gonna be right here. And some of you guys trade using buy stops and sell stops. If you trade, for example, what's her name? Kim Torres, on our platform, you see that they use buy stops above, right? And they use also sell stops as well, right? And Kim is a phenomenal trader. Like she's a phenomenal trader. She gets everybody paid. But I need to have you guys understand what's going on. Why I don't trade in that manner. There's a reason. They all work, but there's a reason that I'm showing you guys this. So right here you have the stop loss if you're buying off the low, right? And you have the stop loss right here. Right here you have what we call buy stops. Right here, down here, this line is considered a sell stop. The reason why I'm showing you this is because I need you guys to understand, right? That most of the time, right? Most of the times we're gonna attempt to, we see a M, right? Whenever we see an M, we're told to what? Buy at the neckline, correct? We're told to buy right here at a neckline. Sell down here at a neckline, right? So given that we're selling down here at a neckline, right? Most of the times what will happen is that, people, hello? So most of the time what will happen, let's make sure everyone's on mute. Most of the time what will happen when you see these M's, you decide to sell right here at the break, right? Which is great. A lot of people don't wait for the new candle to pop up before they actually make the move. They just sell, right? They just sell right away. And I used to do that, right? And I would sell and I would go a little bit into profit, right? And before I knew it, I would be back right here and it would be fluctuating. Then it would keep going up, right? And then it would hit my stop loss and I would re-enter again because I'm like, I see an M, it's supposed to sell. I see an M, it's supposed to sell. And it would hit my stop loss again and again. Now, how many of you has that happened to, realistically? It's like drop a 111 if that's happened to you before in the chat box, right? Drop a 1-1 if that's happened to you before in the chat. Right? That's happened to a lot of us, right? And it happened to me so many times until I decided to figure out what was happening, what was wrong. Because it wasn't the trading style, it wasn't the M's and W's that was necessarily wrong. I didn't have an understanding of what was going on right here. So our stops, majority of people have a stop of 10 to like 20 pip stop, right? So the market will, go the direction a little bit, like for like 10 pips, you get all excited, you're like, yo, I'm gonna jump in, right? So you're already 10 pips in, you think you're in profit, then boom, hit your stop loss. Right? I had to learn that there's a reason, there's a mechanism to it, right? And the same thing happens now when you see the W, right? So you guys see, let's ignore that part, but you see the W right here, W form, right? And what do they say about the W's? At the neckline break of the W, you want to buy, correct? Yeah, that's what we're talking about, basic level, and it's not wrong. It works well on a higher time frame, but when you go to lower time frames on an hourly, all that, it does not work. It gets you willing and breaking even most of the time, right? So I would enter, it would go up a little bit, come back, hit my stop, come back, hit my stop, and we enter again. By the time the move actually happens, you got defeated by the market so much that you don't want to go into the direction no more. You're like, you know what? Let me just leave it as it is, and the move just plays out. That's market makers literally playing every single one of us because they designed this. They designed M's and W's, right? How do I know that they designed this? Like, so these M's and W's that I'm talking about, they're on the internet, guys, right? They're on the internet. I want to show you guys the proof of this. It's right here. When you're new to Forex, you want a quick shortcut. You go to Forex patterns, right? And look what you find. Like that's the first thing that pops up. Everyone wants the easy way, so you pop in right here, and you see this in front of your face, right? Without understanding who created this, who put this on the internet, right? Forex has been out here for ages now, right? It's been out here for ages now, right? Why is it that only 96% of people are why is it that 96% of people are losing and only the 4% are winning? It's because of the top 10 currency traders. I'm gonna show you guys this. Top 10 currency traders. Oops. All right. Top 10 currency traders. These are literally the top 10 currency traders. They move the maximum of value in the marketplace. They move all the volume that's in the market. They're the reason the market moves how it is. They move millions and trillions of dollars, right? Now, understanding that you're playing against these individuals, and if they're the 4% that wins all the time, you not need to play by their rules. You not need to operate how they're operating. You not need to think with their mindset, right? And their mindset, given that they made the M's and W's to have people stuck and doing what they want, you now gotta realize, what are they really doing? What's the answer behind this, right? So when I understood that, I watched Steady Platform, I watched Bounce Back. They helped me understand that, going back here, right? They helped me understand that right above of this, right? This is just all these stop losses is just a pool of money that's sitting on top of each, right? The stop loss below for the buys is a pool of money. And what do they often do? Market will often come here, it'll go in the right direction, right? Come back, go in the right direction, come back, do a test, it'll go back in. You need always just wait for the test back. Market will always give you opportunities, right? Market will always give you opportunity. Let me draw that back for you guys real quick. So for the M's, for the W's actually, they'll come back, go back in, right? Market often does things like this, right? This is like in a perfect world, they do it up like this, they draw it up, right? And as far as following market structure, we want to make sure when we're buying from the higher low, right? We're buying from the higher low. We want higher highs and higher lows to happen in the market when we're buying, and as we're selling, we want to look for lower lows and lower highs, right? In this case, on a case of just a W, right? They make it like this. If I want to show you guys something else, right? Generally, what they do, right, is that they're going to do this. They're going to give you exactly the W, right? They will give you the W, but what happens is that they will stop you out. They'll hit your stop loss. They'll even activate your buy stops. Your sell stops, excuse me, right? They'll even activate your sell stops and then go in the right direction. But when it goes up fast in the right direction, don't be scared. Don't feel like you missed the move, guys, because oftentimes more than others, you will get this. You'll get your higher low. And this is where you want to enter. This is where you want to enter off of the higher low all the time. You want to enter off the higher low. If the higher low happens to be right here, you enter right there. Most of the time they'll break and test back the area that they broke, right? Which is right here. If not, if you want a premium entry, the premium entry is always going to come back as close as possible as where they took people out of the market. So you just using this, right? I'm just gonna drop my Fibs, right? I'm gonna pull out my Fibs real quick, right? And a lot of you guys on here watch Cobain. If you haven't yet, family, please do yourself a favor. Go to favorite session, Mr. Cobain on DCX. You'll watch how he plays with Fibonacci. This is not a drill. This is real serious. Go do it because he's gonna put you on real game, right? But right here, I take my Fibs, right? For you guys that are new, is the Fib tool on trading is like the third one right here. You go all the way down, and you find it. You know, Fibonacci. Where is that at? Fibs. For me, it's on top because I put it on my favorite, so it's always on top. But it's not. It'll be around here, right? So I always wait. I've learned right now to wait always for for them to bring and come back to the max pain. Someone said max pain, right, in the chat, right? I always wait for a market to come back and retrace back to the levels I want them to. So looking at this, what does this look like, right? Markets always come back. You guys see I have 76, 71%, 78%, and I have the 88.6, right? Because markets oftentimes, more than others, they will come back to the 71%, 78, and the 88.6. This happens literally 100% of the time, right? They may come back sometimes and be like, let me get rid of this part, right? They may at times come back only to the 50%, right? And then start playing with you on the 50% and start moving markets sideways, right? Right? And then eventually it does this. You guys think, oh yeah, we're in for the kill, we're gone. We're about to win now. We're in profit now. This is phenomenal, which is great, and it's true. You get the secure bag, but if you didn't put your stop loss in profit, like you should have, most of the time they'll come right back in, wipe you out, come back to hit their 71% premium price, 78.6, and even the 88.6. The 88.6, that's the real max pain. Like 71% is light. That's like considered like your B point on the Fibonacci, on your B point on harmonic scanner, right? So seeing this, guys, like it doesn't happen perfectly like this, but waiting for the market to print candles, this is literally what happens. That's why I'm able to drop charts. I'll draw my Fibs on BTC on Ethereum, and I'm just there waiting. I'm just there waiting. I know, guys, that Cobain teaches us 50%. Because with crypto, guys, it's generally the 50%, sometimes the 38.2. I don't even use those because I'm not interested in those. I rather just wait for this because I get the highest probability trade idea with a maximum risk reward, right? What I mean by the highest probability trade idea, I'm talking about, when you go to these tools here, you're gonna have what we call a long position and a short position, right? I'm using the long to show you guys the example, but the same thing applies to a short position, right? So right here, let's say I'm entering off of the 71%, right? Generally, what my stop loss is gonna be, right? Generally, depending on what the candle shows, is gonna be either the 78.6, or sometimes I may just push it a little lower, a little below, or even drag it to the 88.6, all depending on what's like, what's the pip count, what's the value of the pip count. So don't pay too much attention to the value of the pip count right now because I'm not actually looking on candles, right? But you want to make sure that your risk reward is 3 to 1 and above, and 5 to 1, right? I'm gonna pull this up again. Let's ensure that we're all on mute, guys, family. Make sure we're all on mute, just to respect everybody else on the call, right? And right here as it is, right? We'll go ahead and sometimes I'll give you guys the 78.6, 88.6, right? If I'm entering off the 78.6, I'm gonna put my entry. I'm gonna put my stop loss like slightly below the 88.6, because sometimes it'll just wick in and take off, right? And right here you guys see I have a 7-to-1 risk reward trade, and right here you guys see from the 71%, I have about what to the top here, I have a 4 to 1. So I'm risking like Dre says it on his calls, risking literally 1 apple for 4 apples. So in this case, I'd be risking 1 apple for 7.5 apples. these are the kind of trade ideas you want to take. This is why we use Fibonacci when we're waiting. Like we know it's going to buy up. We know markets has kind of already taken off. We want to wait for the retracement. You guys need to train yourself to be patient because the market will always come back to you. The market's always going to come back to revisit you and give you exactly what it is that you are looking for. It happens literally all the time, right? Make sure you're following your risk reward, guys. If you're impatient, right? Remember this. Like what I'm about to say, I can't say I came up with this, right? Trading is a transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. I'm gonna say that again real quick for y'all. Trading is a transfer of wealth from the impatient to the patient. Get patient, guys. Be patient. There's always gonna be another entry. Even if it takes off, makes a new zone, we'll get a new zone of Fibonacci. So the more patient you are, the more you can take setups and like, once I enter here, guys, I don't really gotta look at the trade no more. Like there's a trade I sent into the group NZDJPY, right? Last week. I entered the trade and I really don't gotta look at it no more. I'm in profit, stop loss is breaking even. I've taken partial profits. TP1 is hit. And I don't even gotta look at it no more. Just because I was able to enter at these premium zones. But when you enter at a 50% and above, like high up here, you gotta worry about your stop loss. You gotta worry about the market coming back and hitting your zone, So when market comes into the zone, I wanna let you guys know, it may test the zone on a 15-minute chart like 3 times. So if you enter this and you get stopped out once, don't worry about it. Just get yourself another re-entry. Right? I remember you went out for running after placing, literally. I placed my trade and I went for a run, literally. Because I know I have an understanding of how this works. I don't want to worry. The only reason I don't enter trades here and I don't have 100 pip stop loss and fat stop losses is because I don't want to. That gives me anxiety. When I see people that send trades and it has 100 pip stops on a Forex pair, that gives me anxiety. I didn't learn to trade like that. So like for me, that gives me anxiety, and I can't trade like that. I can't do that. We can't do it. I can't. Right? So I stick to literally making sure I have a good risk reward one, making sure I'm entering off the premium price of the Fibs, right? So anywhere within the zone is a good area. There's no end all be all. It doesn't have to be the 71. It doesn't have to be the 78. Anywhere in this zone. That's why when I send you guys the setups, I draw the setup and I give you the zone, right? I figured it would be better if I did this than going to go do it on a chart. Because you guys see me drop my charts all the time for you guys, right? I'll still show you guys a couple of charts I've already done it on just to give you guys a quick example, and I'll pass it over to my brother Jason. But just this far, I want to make sure if this makes sense to everybody. If this makes sense, drop an MS in the chat box for me real quick. I want to make sure this part makes sense before I move on to the next part for y'all, right? Awesome. I'm seeing it makes a whole lot of sense for a lot of people, right? If you guys don't quite understand, you guys may need to watch recording again. Watch steady. I'm telling you guys, I watched the boot camp 3-4 times already, guys. Maybe even 5 times I've watched it. After the first time you watch it, it's not like I'm a pretty fast learner. I used to think I'm a slow learner, but trading made me realize I'm a fast learner. I understood smart money in a month. I was trading 10 months to 12 months before I got to see smart money. Wyckoff. Trading like the banks. It took me a month to understand. Then apply it and practice it. And after 3 months, you straight. I'll be really honest. You straight. You can do what Ralph is doing. I'm no different from you. Look at Manny when I send a chart in the chats and Manny sends a chart in the chats. Doesn't it look like the same exact chart? Like, go ahead and just answer that question real quick in the chat. When I drop a chart in the chat box and Manny drops a chart as well, doesn't it look like the same thing? Yeah, the answer is yes. It's the same exact market because we've studied the same thing, so we see the same thing. So every single one of you guys applying this, we'll be seeing the same thing all the time. And the more we all see it, the bigger confirmation, more confidence, drop the big lot sizes. Okay, proper risk. Let me chill. But yeah, you guys get the point of this, right? This is why we follow this. So I'm gonna move on to the next step, showing you guys literally demand zones and supply zones, right? And you guys can use the Fibs because Cobain shows it using the Fibs, right? I don't want to get too in depth of the supply and demand zones because I sent out cheat sheets, right? Cheat sheets in the trade room, right? To help you guys understand supply and demand the way I understand supply and demand, right? But I'm gonna just use this Fib and show you guys something real quick, right? So when you use the Fibs and you draw your Fibs on the 78 on the 78.6 and the 886 zone, right? This zone is when you're at a low point in the market. This is literally your what is it called? Your demand zone, right? Price may come back in your demand 3 times at most. If it doesn't more than 3 times, don't play the move again. If price comes into your demand zone like more than 3, don't play it. Like I like to play it max 2 times. The 3rd time I just let it do its thing, right? Because the 3rd time is never sure. It's like you can make it or break it type thing, right? But price oftentimes, even if it leaves you, it'll do its run and it'll come back. BTC does this all the time, Like I'm gonna zoom real quick into a BTC chart, just so I can show you guys real quick. Oh, I removed the Fibs? Hold on. 1 second. So right here in this scenario, I did from pretty much was a high to low. Yeah. In this scenario, put it here, 1 hour chart, 1 hours, right? So most of the time, I don't know when this entry, before I knew this entry was gonna come, I had to use the previous, I had to use the past. The past always gives me the present, right? Look left to get right. That's what I always say. So I look left to get right. Oops, sorry. And I do high point to low point most of the time, right? So in this scenario, we had already made a high point here, high to lows, and then after that, all this started happening. All this started to happen, right? I'm showing you guys a buy scenario, and I'm going to show you guys a sell scenario as well, right? Before I go back to the other chart, right? So on this, right, I draw my Fibs from the low to the high, right? And I identify these zones, right? I'm going to drag it all the way so you guys can see what happened here, right? From wick to wick. I do wick to wick. Some people do body to body, right? So doing it wick to wick, right? Now what happens? So we got the 71%, we got the 78.6, 71%, 78.6. Whoa, what a coincidence. Guys, look what I did. I placed a stop. Yeah, I read this. I already closed this out. I got fed up. I didn't have the patience. I like to secure it back, right? So I closed out my position. But this trade, I dropped it in the chat for you guys. I dropped this setup. So do you guys see kind of how it makes sense? Like we're right in the money. This is right in the money. You can why do I put my stop loss down? I don't make it bigger because if I get stopped, guys, I can just re-enter right away right here and put my stop loss right there. And the people that are selling, like the market is selling. We're like, oh, we're trying to buy. You see, already here we could have made some back, right? It hit if you had seen this, right? It hit 71%. That's already 1,500 pips right there. So, okay, now, maybe it broke you even. You come back, boom. Market will always come back. It won't just leave without you. And if it does, it'll give you another opportunity elsewhere. It'll give you another opportunity elsewhere. This happens all the time, family. I can't even make this up. Like, look left to get right. Like, literally, you can look left to get right. I removed this right here. This Fib was based off of Fib was really based off of just this. Low point to high point. And then I was just waiting for a retracement. I wanted to see this come into this area. Last down candle before the prior movement. I'm not going to talk about too much about this because I feel like that's a whole other class. I want to leave some time for my brother Jason to get right into it, right? But like this happens all the time. From what? Low point to high point. And if even on the other side of it, right? If you were to do it the other way, low point to high point to low point, just to figure out when you should enter for yourself, the same thing happens. I don't really enter much sells, to be honest, on BTC. Style, reverse. So the same thing happens here. So in this case, I would have picked this low, right? Because the market is already structured. This was the higher low, and this was the the new high, right? So I would have done from this high point to this low point here, right? And then we could have seen our potential entry area. 88.6, 78.6. Remember, 88.6, 78.6. That's your noun. Remember, at the low point, we had a demand zone. This was the whole demand zone, right? If I do like half of this, excuse me. If I do half of this, this was your demand zone, right? And over here, supply zone. Right then and there. Supply zone was right then and there. It was right then and there. Now, if I play this replay real quick, make it a little quick, speed it up. Are you guys seeing this? Are y'all seeing this? That's when it came to the 71%, Boom. Hit the area. Let's keep playing it. This is really all, bro. Yo, guys, the max pain was so real. That max pain right there, this was a real max pain. Let's keep playing it. Woo, bro. Yo, did y'all see that? Does this part make sense? Like, drop an MS real quick for me. I want to make sure everyone caught that, because I want to play the replay for you guys. If you guys just to see how the market be playing out. Market just be playing off. We're still playing in the zone. And then it starts dropping. Boom, boom. Just keep going, right? Market does this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You don't stop this, right? And you guys kind of see exactly how the market played. It played into the zone, boom, right? Until it came to what? It came to the premium area right here, right? That's literally what market did. Hit the supply zone, sold from the supply, even here. Even if you thought you missed it over here, right? Even if you thought maybe you missed it here, look what happened. Market gave you another opportunity to get in and catch the drop. I like to focus my bias on, I like to focus my bias on literally the buys mainly. I don't really do no selling on BTC, right? To be honest, like I wish I could, but I just can't for some reason. I can't switch my bias like that, right? But that's literally all that it is, right? Let me change my settings back here. All right, now same thing here applies. You guys see this? Low point to the high point gave us this entry, minimum stop loss. This is a 14-to-1 risk reward trade. Yeah, about like where I got off pretty much. I got off the train right here. This is maybe a 10-to-1. So you risk one apple getting gained 10 times more. Now, guys, you practice this, you backtest this. I'm telling you, you won't need me to drop charts. You're going to be dropping the charts. In all honesty. Now, as far as getting into, okay, what your entry should be, like how to get a specific type of entry, right? As far as getting into how to, what did I delete just there? Okay, good. As far as getting into a specific type of entry, guys, right? You know how I was saying, you know how I was saying on what is it called? I was saying on the previous one that, you want to get your entries off of, when the market comes back to test it. What market was I on? I think I was on gold. Let me show you guys. Oh, did it disappear? Oh, I was on daily. Good. Okay. So right here, we're back on gold with this, right? So when the market comes back to like give you that test back, that test back either, generally I like to wait for the premium, either 71 or 78, for cryptos, sometimes we can do 50% if it doesn't want to come back, but generally 71 and 78%. When it does that, what is the market coming to do? Market is coming to test a previous candlestick, right? Now for your entry, I'm going to use BTC as an example to show you guys how I caught that entry and I knew the zone. I wasn't just following Fibs. I had a specific entry because I wasn't just following the Fibs, but the Fibs was a great help, right? So now going back to BTC, right? Right here, I think I believe I was on 1 hour. And we can see, according to where I entered, there's a specific candle, right? So when you're buying, you always want to look for the last down candle, the last down close candle before the prior movement. And when you're buying, you want to look for the last, let's say, up candle before the down move, right? So in this case, let me just cover this for y'all so you guys can see it. Last up candle before the down move, we got a test of it. Last down candle here before the up move. Now, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna use these two as an example just to show you guys real quick. Generally, your entries happen where? At the wick. Hold on, no, it's not. Let me just zoom in. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, right? So generally, your entries happen in two places, right? Your entry either happens at the wick, at the 50%, or like at an 80% at a premium price of the Fibs. But generally, we just say opening price, wick, or 50%. Now, how do I know what's what? I take my Fibs, right? I change the tools. All I did was uncheck everything except 50%. So I'm gonna change my tool to a sniper. You guys see I only have 1, 0, and 0.5. Right? So that's all I do. Just delete this real quick. And I'll be done after this. So right here, there you go. So generally, I'm gonna use this tool just to make sure you guys see it. So 50%, or price enters the opening price. So now I'm gonna go back to where that entry was. Let's see. Yo, guys, look at the entry. It hit the opening price and it hit the 50%. The 50% is the one I like the most because it's an instant mitigation and you're taking off from there. You can do this on any time frame you'd like. You can do this on any time frame. This is why I trade smart money. This is why I trade wyckoff. Now, to grasp a better understanding of this, go watch Steady. Go watch the Go Lives. Hop on the live sessions. Use my charts to identify and train your eyes on how to see this too. This kind of makes me automatically good at HFX. This is how I know. This is how I'm dropping these entries and we're barely touching a stop loss and we're taking off. But guys, I want you to know you're still gonna lose sometimes. And you gotta be okay with those times that you lose. Don't over leveraging because you're losing. I used to make the mistake of because I was losing sometimes, I'd over leverage, which would cause me to lose money when I'm not even supposed to be losing when my trades average 70% win all the time. So that's the sauce. That's it. Now I can sit here all day and talk about it and mark up charts for you guys, but now this is the part where you guys got to go do the work. Pick a chart, Euro USD, and then this is mark it up, back test. Play this on your demo. The more you see this play out on your demo, the more you're gonna get better. The more you're gonna be like more confident in your chart. I used to just watch it happen. I was like, yo, wow, I can't keep watching it happen. I gotta place the trade on my demo now. Do it for like 1-2 weeks in your demo, 1 month, even on the demo, then go live with it. Take my trades. I give you guys the blueprints how to take my trades like all the time. Like, you know, I didn't want to do this anymore, but I'm like, you know, there's a lot of new people. Let me just drop it. Gray number, red number, TP. I don't put multiple TPs anymore because you can TP whenever you want. Don't TP because of me. So that's really it. I want to let my brother Jason take over the floor, give you guys some, you know, fundamentals, you know, how the market is manipulated. You know, and this individual, honestly speaking, I just started speaking to him like maybe it's been 2 weeks now because I didn't know how to do Binance futures. I'm like, I DM'd him one time, like, bro, I see you killing it, bro. Like, you gotta teach me. And I got on a Zoom call with him for 2 hours. He sacrificed his time, energy. He gave me the game. I sat down, I took notes like a student. And I'm applying the game right now. So guys, without no further ado, give it up for my brother Jason. Give him the sauce, give him that work. Let's go.
I'm the sauce walker, so that's what we do, baby. So Everybody, I really appreciate Ralph. Drop an 8 in the chat if you appreciate it, Ralph. Man, that's like a whole 8 figures right there. Like, y'all better drop an 8. I won't even talk until y'all drop that. That's an 8-figure earner right there. Look at that guy with that fresh lineup. That's an 8-figure earner. Let's go. So guys, what I want to talk about is how the market is manipulated and actually how to spot it on lower time frames. Woo! Like, this weekend was crazy. Like, y'all didn't even need to go to Canada's Wonderland or Six Flags if you're in America. BTC did that to us, right? I was in my whole feelings. I don't know about y'all. You could be up a lot and you could have been down a lot at different points over the weekend, right? If that's you, do me a favor, just say I agree in the chat real quick. It's important to confess. That's how we get better, right? I agree. Just drop it in the chat. Be honest with yourself. Honest, okay? So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm a little bit different, but the same idea, right? So it's actually like Ralph and I, we complement each other. He's very technical and I'm very visual, right? And I understand that most people are actually a lot like me. We're always looking at Instagram and our eyes are so trained to look at stuff. So I see patterns and that's actually how I know potentially what's about to happen. So I'm about to share my screen here real quick. And you guys are actually gonna get to see inside of my head type of deal here. So do me a favor if you can, let me know if you can see what's on my screen. Just a little one or something like that. Okay, yeah, we good. Okay, we good. All right. So like, wow. Yeah, this weekend was wild, right? And again, shout out Manny. He called this thing from a long time ago. But like I said, I actually was able to use Fibs and take my time and catch a sniper entry right here on Friday morning. So yeah, like we were up big time, right? And then something weird happened, and this is what I want to talk about. Like, it's important to talk about this. We can't like put it aside. What in the world was this, and that? Man, did I ever wake up to messages on Saturday morning? Like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, right? This is exactly what they do. Guys, it's very important. Whenever you hear me say they, I'm talking about market manipulators. I'm talking about whales, good or bad. I'm talking about Binance straight up. I'm talking about MT4. I'm talking about every broker that you work with. Trust me when I tell you, they don't want to see you cash out 50 grand, 5 grand, $500. They don't really care about 30, 40 bucks. But when they see those bigger lot sizes, that's who they're coming for. I might as well just tell you the truth. Is that okay? Right? I'm raw. I'm going to tell you the truth. So when they see you up, their job is to go on what's called search and destroy mode. Write that down. Search and destroy mode. And so, like, how do you know it's about to happen? This is very important. Look at my eyes. It's very important. How do you know search and destroy is about to happen? It's right here, guys. Right? It's called a fake out. Right? Any extremely fast move in one direction is probably a sign that it's them. Right? I can zoom in a little bit more. Right? This went vertical. Anybody who was awake in the morning on Saturday saw that. It was ridiculous. It literally went vertical in one candle. What was that? Like just over 500 pips, and it did it in like a minute. I know it shows a 50-minute candle, but it did it in a minute. So how does the price move that fast? Well, I need you guys to be honest with each other, right? Look at the size of these candles. This is retail. This is retail, this is retail, this is market makers in Wales. Can you guys see that? Right? Do me a favor, just drop a 1 in the chat if you can see the difference in the size of these candles. Right? Let me know that this is making sense. Because my job here is to kind of eliminate all of the scare tactics that market makers use. That's what I'm doing. I reached out to Dre, I said, man, I have to do this call because there were so many questions and I was going through it, everybody was going through it. But we all want to get more like a Ralph. We want to get more like an Itiel. We want to get more like an Amanda. Hop in a trade. I remember being on a call, shout out Amanda. She said, I hop in a trade and I just walk away. If it does what it does, if it does what it does, I'm happy. I had my trade set up and I was so impressed. Shout out Amanda, right? So real quick, guys, this is actually a move. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some time a little later today is I'm going to set up a little catalog of some of the moves that you can expect. They don't have a lot of moves, guys, right? I'm going to show you and it's going to be kind of annoying, right? Look at this. Isn't this exactly what happened to BTC on Saturday? It's the exact same thing. They shot the price up, they slammed it down. They shot it up, they slammed it down harder, right? Look, it's right here, right? They brought it up. Okay, and then they were like, hey, let's slowly bring it down. And then they brought it down into that 71.2 area that Ralph so eloquently spoke about. Yeah, they did it on gold too. You're right. This wyckoff strategy is being used all over the market. Guys, I'm sick and tired of seeing, oh, I hit stop loss. Oh, I was in profit and I fell asleep and I was at a loss. Guys, it happened to me. I'm not going to lie to you. Straight up. I got a little overconfident. I'm still very new to MT4. Binance, I'm up there. I'm okay. But MT4, I'm still very new. Right on my demo, I'm trading with $100,000. In my live, I'm trading with a few $1,000s. I totally forgot the difference in lot sizes. Not to say that I went and did a 1.0, but I thought a 0.1 was nothing. Well, it means something when they slam the price down. But something was really cool that I found, and I was actually really excited, was because I knew their strategy, I was actually ready for this. And if you guys were on the trade room on Friday night, early Saturday morning, like around 12 actually, I put my limit orders and I actually had a limit order right here for, I believe it was like 48.1. I had one for 48.5. It's because I knew what was going to happen in terms of Fibs as per what they usually do in terms of these market moves. It's very important. When you learn these strategies, you won't be scared. The other thing that I wanted to show you is that they give you chances, right? They give you what are called relief rallies. Like, yeah, they're gonna slam you down. They're gonna get rid of you. They're gonna blow your stop losses. Crypto doesn't just tap your stop losses like Forex, it blows your stop losses. Max pain. It's very important. Anything you think is the worst possible thing that they might do, they're gonna do that in the crypto market, hands down. But it's also, if you learn how to manipulate it back, you could have also got out here. You could have got out here. You could have got out here. You could have got out here. That's to say, if you took a bad position. They usually give you, like Ralph said, they usually give you about 2 to 3 times, wink, wink, in that supply zone, get out. They're actually kind of low-key telling you. They speak a language with their charts. They're painting the market as Picasso always says. but there were 3 times they hopped into that zone after they showed it here. And then they slammed the market down. So this kind of brings me to the next point here. Well, how can you see this visually? Jay, like what are you actually talking about? Well, I made a diagram because like Ralph and Manny, like it's like laser beam, like they can see stuff, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I don't know if you ever feel that way. Like when I'm watching like Mike Neverett or like John Dollery, sometimes I'm like, yeah, that sounds good, bro. I'm being honest with you. I'm raw. I need to go back, call it slow, whatever you want to call it. I'm just a more methodical thinker. I don't accept anything that anybody says to me until I can prove it to myself, which is why it makes me able to teach to people at different levels, because I had to go back even after I was with Ralph. He took his time out for me, and I was like, I had to reteach myself everything that Ralph taught me on that one session. When I went on a call with Amanda, when I went on a call with Shaq, I had to reteach myself. I'm constantly reteaching myself. I wake up early to teach myself this stuff. So yeah, it's not a shortcut, but it's like, it's actually more of like, hey, if I can actually help you bridge the gap faster for the other learning styles, which is like me, which is visual, like that's my journey. That's my gift to the community. So it was ironic. And actually Nick, my brother Nick is my witness. I was drawing this up while this was happening. And I was like, where's the big money? Well, they did this, so they got to take themselves out. And it was so crazy because I actually drew this while this was happening. And I was like, no, they wouldn't really do it. They wouldn't go back there. They wouldn't go back there. And they did. And they slammed everybody who got euphoric here. They slammed everybody who got euphoric here. They slammed everybody who thought they were safe here. This is why they slammed the price. Guys, like, I need to be clear with you. These guys, gals, whoever they are, the market makers, I need you to know they are not your friend. Let me stress, they don't want you to win, just like Khaled says. They don't want you to win, so we're gonna win more. Anyways, that was my Khaled impression. Please don't laugh too hard. Guys, the point is, understand that I think somebody caught that. Okay, I listened to too much rap. Kiki, I love you. Okay, so understand when the price goes vertical, that's when you know it's them. Unequivocally, that is them. It's not human interaction. I would even argue it's not even just bots, it's them. It's literally market makers stepping in and saying, how do we clear all of these stops? I know lots of people that bought in here because that's what you're supposed to do. They know what we're supposed to do. They know retail trading patterns, and they took you out. And if your stop was too tight and you didn't have another limit order to save you, you woke up in the morning, or you went to bed at night thinking you were in and you were good. I'm going to go to 50,000. I had that conversation with like 3 people this weekend. I thought I was going to wake up at 50,000. I don't mean to laugh, but guess what? I got in that too. No, I'm going to wake up with a grand in my pocket, baby. I was so jacked. Everybody was. Here's a secret. And this leads me to the next thing. I'm going to leave this chart right here. And I need to talk about this because nobody's talking about this, and I need to talk about it. Yes, Lily, take profits. This is so important. I'm not going to yell because my neighbors are getting scared already. Okay. I can't stress to you, it's your money. I said this on, I believe it was on Friday, it's your money. If you see it printing on your phone, on your computer screen, whatever device you're using, your tablet, and you see 400 or 500, depending on your lot size, $5,000, scrape the profit off, set up another limit order at the 0.712 or the 786 or the 886, like Ralph so eloquently just explained, and take your money. It's yours. You earned it. You're paying for the academy. You're spending your time. You're getting yourself educated. You're putting in the work. Pay yourself. And I'm talking to myself because I remember here when I had an extra $500, I had scraped out $1,000 here. I was like, yes, thank you, ma'am. And I was like, yo, that's only $500. Like, yeah, like I got that. Like I'm the guy. Yo, take it out. Set another limit order. Right? Yeah, you're right, Stephanie. Partials, right? Speak to your upline. Get connected. That partials, right? That's actually in the academy. Take your money along the way. I kept trying to put in little subliminals on the chat over the weekend. You kept, if you were reading, I kept saying, yeah, and hey, it's not a bad idea. If you want to take a little bit of your profits, you can look back, right? Guys, it's okay. Wealthy traders are taking profit along the way. You just heard Ralph say, I set up a 14-to-1 trade and I got out at 10-to-1. Like, again, guys, like I'm being honest with you, that kind of leads to the next part. Like that level of discipline is, geez, like that's hard. For me personally, I'm like an orange juice kind of guy. I'm gonna squeeze you until you give me everything, like a pit bull. Like, give me my chew toy. I want it all. But guys, so many times you're going for that. Oh, I just gotta get that extra 150 pips, 200 pips. What happened to BTC today? Just like ATL put in the chat, again, a perfect example. Confluence for me is like, holy crap, I was literally dropping the chat or the chart, and ATL dropped the same chart literally 30 seconds before me. And I laughed my head off because it's like, yep, loves a 618. It hit a 618, does a minor retrace. Everybody who got caught here and thought, oh my God, okay, I'm going to wait until it goes to 55. Or if you're following YouTube or Instagram where their guys are saying it's going to 88 tomorrow, right? It's exactly how you get clapped. Oh, wow. Y'all is laughing. Yeah, I'm funny. But I'm real, though. I'm raw as heck. Because I want you guys to be successful. I am on this call for a reason. I'm going to just be straight up with you. When I started in February, again, I need you to hear my heart. When I started in February, I was making good income, right? No income claims. We're not going to talk about that. And I remember when I hit up Manny, I was like, yo, what's good? Right? What it do, Shotty? And he was like, whoa, because he's really calm. He's like, well, I'm doing this trading thing. And I was like, bro, that sounds super boring. He's like, yeah, you know, I bought BTC at like $1,700 and it's now at like 38,000. And I was like, what? I was like, yo, Bridget, why didn't you call me? Right? And, you know, I was like all around like North America. So I don't even know how he would have got my number. So that's fair. But he spent the time, right? And he showed me the academy and I was like, yeah, that's kind of dope, right? So they teach you how to trade. And then I was like, okay, so like when he's doing the seminar or whatever, I'm going somewhere with this, guys. I was thinking, oh, okay, it's going to be one of those like $5,000 investments. Yeah, I'm good for that. Like, okay. And then he goes, yeah, so it's like 249. I was like, sorry, 249. So so is that cash or debit? Like, I actually tried to pay with my debit card and it didn't work because I was like, yo, you're gonna give me all of that for that amount of money? So interesting thing happened. I got everything situated. I got started about 4 days later just because I had to get a credit card. And I literally didn't use the services for at least, other than go live, I didn't use the services for at least probably like a month and a half. And so I'm saying that because we need to hear this out loud. If you are not using the services, you are at a disadvantage to yourself. Why would you make this harder for yourself than you need to? Right? It's so important. Emotional management. I went into trading, blew past the whole idea of demo trading. Like, heck out of here. Why do I need to demo? I got cash. Went right into trading, like a bull into the back of a matador, right? Pulled out a whole bunch of cash and I just hopped into trading and I was like, yo, what's good? Right? I'll be honest with you, I won, right? I, had a couple of like $800 trades, $1,500, $1,800. Then I was like, I'm being honest with you guys. And most people are not going to tell you this stuff. I don't even give a crap. Because one day I'm going to be a 7-figure trader. So I'll tell you these stories right now. And I was like, yo, so if I just made $1,800, what if I increased my margin? And I was like, at one point, this is where I knew it was like kind of out of control. I was trading with like $6,000. And like, I remember when I cleared that trade and I was like, yo, I just made $3,400 while my wife was sleeping tonight. She woke up and I was like, Mary, we're good. And she was like, what? Like, I was like, no, we good. I'm printing money on my phone. Super cocky. Super duper cocky. Okay. Wow. What's up, Anna? I see. But you're winning now. So this is so important. I need you to hear my heart. Write this down. Emotional management is directly correlated to financial management. Please write that down. Okay? Literally, Warren Buffett said, if you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money. I didn't say it. That's a man who's worth possibly over 100 billion. So if you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money. So I have it written down here, like, know when not to trade. Like, I know that a lot of people don't talk about this, but yo, if you were in a euphoric state on Saturday and you were excited, like, I mean, Saturday night, please just drop a 7 in the chat. Just be honest, okay? We got to talk about this ish. Drop a 7. Don't lie, bro. I got the DMs. Drop a 7. I'm not gonna continue until you confess. I need more 7s. Y'all is, come on, man. Don't lie to me. I need more 7s. Okay, all right. So if you were like, oh my God, I'm gonna be rich, that is a sign. I'm learning this from very wealthy traders that I follow. That's when they get out. That is so hard. Like what Ralph just said is what wealthy traders do. I talked to a guy and he said, the second I see $10,000 printed, I hit market execute sell or market execute buy if he's in a short. So he just gets out. 10 grand, he doesn't care. And I don't even know what his account is, but the logic is if you can make $10,000 in a day, or in some cases for some people, like in an hour, I mean, you have to have a number and you have to be okay with it. So many times that I've been talking to Manny one-on-one and I was like, hey man, yeah, it's still gonna keep going. And he's like, oh no, I'm out. What do you mean you're out? Like, who are you? Get out or take a large sum out. I guarantee you, I don't know if Manny's on the call. I know he had some pretty awesome things happening with his children over the weekend. I'm pretty excited for him. But yeah, he's so like notorious for, okay, yeah, I know it hit XYZ. I'm out, or I only have like 5% running, and like it will go another 1,000 pips, and he'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Guys, it's important when you feel that state of euphoria, right? Can you see my mouse? When it was like 48 or 49, 49.8, that was the, guess what? This is the Wall Street cheat sheet. They ran believe, thrill, euphoria. They ran it on you in a lower time frame. I guarantee you, if I had this on like a 5-minute, you would see every single one of those feelings. Guess what? This is what BTC did on a larger time frame. It's probably what's going to happen again at the end of the bull run. When Bitcoin's at 300,000, 320, even if it's at 150,000, I guarantee you half of the people on this call are going to have a hard time when people like Manny or, you know, Ralph or Andre are texting, hey guys, start thinking about your exit strategy. Vianney texts me like, bro, yeah, I'm out, right? I know for me personally, it's something I struggle with. Like, what do you mean you're out? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Right? ETL had brought up a number on the weekend and it was like, what? He's like, yeah, man, I have my exit strategy already. Seasoned trader. The guy already has like a detailed plan, and I'll let him share that. Maybe I'll bring him on a call next time. Man, like, guys, take advantage of these things. And then the last thing I want to bring up to you, it's the R word, okay? It's the last thing I want to bring up. And it's called revenge trading. Woo! It's a rough topic, but it has to be addressed. I'll be honest with you. It happens to me. It happened to me. Yesterday, I was so confused. Yeah, this is going to sting. It's for real. Revenge trading is a real epidemic, right? And I'm not cured of it yet, per se. It happens to me still. Man, that clapped me out. I was doing so good. Oh, I'm going to get them back. When you feel that, like, write this down. Revenge equals losses. Please write that in the chat. Revenge equals losses. I need to see some people write that in the chat. Right? Monica, Keyshawn, I see you. Right? Because guys, revenge trading looks like, oh my God, I got kicked out. Right? I got kicked out. Okay, I'm going to get back in. I'm going to get back in. Like Ralph said, okay, and I'm going to end on this. He walked away. I actually talked to him about something else that day. And he's like, yeah, I'm not even on the charts today. I was like, what the heck are you talking about? You're not on the charts. There's so many things happening. And he's like, I don't actually, like, I just have a zone and I'm waiting for it to go to the zone. When Ralph is talking about his strategy, guys, if you ever get a moment to like let's say when we have seminars and all of this, separation is over, like Ralph really lives that. Like, I think one time he set up a trade and he went and got his haircut and came back to profit. Like, there's nothing cooler than setting your limits, walking away, and coming back to success. So guys, just to wrap it up, okay? understanding there is market manipulation, which I'm going to drop this diagram because it's a literal visual of what Ralph just said. Man, guys, I need you to understand, I just texted Ralph. We didn't plan this call like to the T. It's amazing how well this happened. We got to do this together, bro. Again, and just knowing when not to trade, right? Knowing when to just get out, like when you feel that feeling of euphoria. And then the last thing is just emotional management and revenge trading. Just avoid revenge trading altogether. If you feel like you're trying to get back at them, they're probably going to get back at you worse, because now you're in your feelings and you're not looking at your fibs. You're not paying attention to other educators, right? And I'm just going to leave this here because like Amanda put me on over the weekend. These two guys, okay, real quick, Anas and Sean. Sean and Anas. Anas and Sean. This is what I'm going to be using to get to the next level in my DCX journey. Sean, Anas. Seriously. Anas, cool as a cucumber, right? I can't even tell you, like, it was hard to watch because his harmonics slapped so hard that he was talking about things that actually happened 10 days after. Like it was actually scary. I have to keep watching. But guys, just understand that we have to be in control of ourselves in order to take money and extract it out of the market. But without further ado, guys, if that makes sense, drop an MS in the chat. Just real quick, let me know. Hopefully I've answered any questions already. Sean and Anas, MS. Already.